So what we have here is really common. We see this a lot. We have to address this a lot. So we have a house that's not quite a walkout basement, but you can see it's got a pretty tall deck to get you to that door wall. All the water comes down, ends up in here. Usually when you cut a grade down this much, there's not very much slope left, so the water just lays behind the outdoor living space. We're putting a French drain. We're gonna have a nice curtain French drain around this patio. So the guys are gonna tie that curtain French drain that's wrapped around that outdoor living space. They're gonna tie that into that storm drain. We're gonna grab up all this water that's sitting behind here. You can see just how muddy everything is. You can see all the water is just laying behind here. Now also, look at the water that's coming out of the base material. See the base material? That's from the paver installation. That's all the base they put down and put under the walk. Now that can drain. That's not gonna sit saturated. So in the wintertime, this walk won't heave. You're getting a lot of movement. When you have a pocket of aggregate under the pavers that holds water, you're going to get a lot of movement when it's freezing and thawing, freezing and thawing. Every time it freezes, it'll expand and raise the pavers. Then when you have a thaw, they'll come back down. This is going to reduce the amount of movement in the wintertime, and it's going to tighten this yard up so that this is a really nice outdoor living space for the homeowner. So Patrick's putting the cleanouts on the end of the French drain pipe. We're going to put a cleanout on each pipe. We're going to be able to run a garden hose through this every few years just for peace of mind. If there's any sediment in the bottom of the system, you can chase it out. We can also run a camera through it if need be. There's a lot of different things as far as soil bacteria and minerals in the water that can cause some unusual occurrences. In a case like that, you're going to wish you had, these access ports. You're going to wish you had these cleanouts. Now, Patrick's going to stagger them. All right, so Patrick put a cleanout with a turf plate, and they got a riser on the not quite a 90, and then the other cleanout has a riser, and we don't need two turf plates. We just need the one so that even if the grass grew over this, we'd be able to locate it because we'd be able to find this because of this turf plate right here. You always want to stand on the pipe. That way the stone won't push the pipe. What'll happen is the stone will actually get between the wall of the trench and the pipe, push the pipe over, and the stone will roll under the pipe, and you'll lose your perfect slope that you work so hard for. So you want to stand on the pipe. You want to use a shovel to hold the pipe down. The guys are communicating really well. Really good teamwork. Really good teamwork. So you can see what that looks like when you got those cleanouts. You got them staggered, cut one pipe a little shorter than the other. Patrick's gonna close up the trench. When you close up the trench, just go ahead and cut an X in the fabric. Then that way you can push it over the fitting really nice. So the guys start shallow right here. That way they could create slope by using the bottom of the trench to do so. It's flat. There's no slope in here. That's why we're here. We wouldn't be here if this yard had really adequate slope. The water can't find its way out of here. So the men went ahead and they sloped the bottom of this trench. Now we do have a third pipe in here, and that's a solid downspout pipe. Now I get this question all the time. Why can't we tie a downspout pipe into the French drain pipe? Well, as soon as this downspout water hits this perforated pipe, all the water is going to come squirting out of the perforations, fill the voids of the stone, and then all the sediment is going to get dropped. You're going to end up with a clog right where you tie into your perforated pipe, and then you're going to ruin your French drain system along the way. You want to keep your downspout pipe on its own separate line. Guys did a great job. Always put sand on your fabric. Always put a good drainage sand on your fabric. Make sure it's not fill sand, because fill sand has clay in it. This way, if you do have clay-backed sod, when you cut this sod off with a sod cutter, if there's clay, it's not going to plug the fabric, because you have this couple inches of sand between whatever that subsoil was and your filter fabric. This is a beautiful executed installation of a curtain French drain around an outdoor living space. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comment section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.